Sexual violence can happen to anyone, women and men, people of every race, and people of any age, young, old, and in between.
My name is Jennifer, and I am a victim advocate. I volunteer because it's my way of saying no to sexual assault. It has truly made me more aware of how pervasive sexual assault is in our community. These survivors are our moms, our sisters, our brothers, and our family. They are our friends, our bosses, and our neighbors, and in some instances, we are ourselves victims of sexual assault. Each call I take is a reminder that in the darkest hour, I would hope that someone would be there for me to help me advocate for myself.
Sexual violence can happen to people who are homeless or wealthy, people with mental illness or disabilities, lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender people. In other words, it can happen to you.
Hello, I'm Amy, Victims Advocate. Being a WASAC volunteer allows me to share my compassion for survivors when they're at their most vulnerable, and allows me to help them discover the resources to recover from the trauma. It's very rewarding to help a survivor regain their self-esteem, their dignity, and their self-worth.
And sexual assault can happen anywhere, at the office, on the street, at the gym, on college and university campuses.
Hi, my name is Tammy, and I'm a victims advocate. When I first started volunteering, I was nervous. I was out of my comfort zone, and I couldn't imagine what I could possibly say that would be of any help at such a terrifying and vulnerable time in someone's life. However, I soon understood the importance of my role, and I immediately forgot my own anxiety. After spending time talking and listening to survivors, I've come to realize that I'm often the first person and possibly the only person they will ever encounter who will offer the support and empathy that is so crucial to their healing.
Sexual assault occurs anytime someone is forced, manipulated, or coerced into any unwanted sexual advances or activity. Sexual violence is a crime motivated by the perpetrator's wish to humiliate, control, and harm. And locally, it's reported an average of 7 times a week, but is suspected to occur as many as 42 times a week. These crimes are never the victim's fault. They have nothing to do with what a woman wears or does. America is finally learning to listen and stop blaming and start believing.
I'm Amber, an advocate. It's an honor to help victims of sexual assault realize that what happened to them is not their fault, to help them reclaim their validity as a human being, and to begin the healing process. At times it's very uncomfortable and even painful for me, but at the end of each shift, I'm rewarded with the knowledge that just by listening and reinforcing the fact that they did nothing wrong, making sure they understand that they are not to blame, and reassuring them that they'll survive and heal from the trauma.
Unfortunately, sexual assaults happen every day in Wichita and the surrounding areas.
I'm Kathy Williams, Executive Director of the Wichita Area Sexual Assault Center, which is also referred to as WASAC. We are in need of volunteer victim advocates at WASAC. We depend upon our volunteers from the Wichita community and surrounding areas to provide support for those affected by the crime of sexual assault and to support significant others. We do this by responding to crisis calls and calls to the hospital for medical attention and evidence collection. It takes a special person to go on a moment's notice to be with the victim of sexual assault. Volunteering can be a very rewarding endeavor, but our current team of volunteers can only do so much. We need more volunteers. We need you.
The Wichita Area Sexual Assault Team needs volunteers. If you are 21 years of age and able to provide your own transportation, WASAC needs you. And WASAC provides 40 hours of training prior to any volunteer assignments and 24 hours of shadowing experience. After training, victim advocates are asked to take a minimum of 2 12-hour shifts per month. This consists of answering the crisis line and providing hospital advocacy. All crisis calls go through an answering service, so your phone number stays private. Background checks will be conducted for each volunteer. If you are an empathetic, compassionate person who wants to make a difference in our community, please call the Wassac office at 263-0185 or email us at advocate@wichitasac.com and ask for an application.